course. You know you're at my house because Levi makes kitty cameos, always. Right, buddy? We'll get started here in just a second. All right, let's see if we can get Levi. Really, buddy? All right. Mr. Levi, are you going to let me have this spot, please? Thank you guys for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the ARM-MADE here in just a second. This is Levi, and I just got home 3 minutes ago, so he's probably, him and Winston, Sir Winston, are probably going to be joining us pretty soon, because they're cats, that's what they do, right? All right, so I'm going to figure this out. Give me 1 sec. A little late. Oh, there's the other one. I knew it would be happening. All right. So feel free to ask whatever questions you have as we go along. And this is not a scratching post, you two. Dana, if you like kitties. Here. Come say hi. No? All right. So you can see me fine over here. This is not going, you can't see me over here at all. All right, I'm going live on YouTube as well, so this is quite the thing. So we're live and we're live. Give me 1 second to figure this out. So, okay, both kitties left. That was short-lived. All right. I think I'm gonna have to just put it over here, for lack of better ideas. Not a fan of this, but this will work. Sorry, y'all. I was hoping to have this set up, and I got stuck behind the world's slowest drivers coming back from getting my oil changed and car maintenance and stuff. So if you have any questions as we stay. Yes. Okay. If you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to holla. So I'm just going to go through the different. That is not going to stay. I'm going to go through the different ways that you can use the ARM-MADE. There we go. We'll do it this way. I got it. I'll get it figured out. I promise. This is what happens when you don't have a fancy production studio. Oh, stay. All right. Hey, now we're cooking with Crisco, right? That's the thing. Sweet. All right. So let's get this party started. Thank you for joining me. ARM-MADE company may or may not be joining us. I did not give them a lot of warning, but they did mention that if anybody had questions, that I will be collecting those. And, any questions I can't answer about how this is made, how they came up with the idea, anything like that. And they also have a therapist on staff, and she can answer any questions that I can't answer. So if you've got any questions about anything, basically, that I cannot answer, I'm going to be collecting those. And we're going to do this again with ARM-MADE together. So we're going to cross-promote this again. I kind of sprung this on them last minute. They're all for it, but she couldn't. The rep I've talked to, the company, they couldn't join me tonight. So apologies. But anyway, let me actually show you the old version, and just in case you haven't seen it. So this is their new version. I love this little thing. It weighs almost nothing. As you can see, it's very light. Maybe, I could say a few grams or a few ounces. I honestly don't know. But it doesn't weigh anything. Not at all. Their older version is a lot taller and bulkier. I really like this because it's more streamlined. It's, you put it, it's got a little nice area for your leg. So you can put it on a table. It's very comfortable. You can put it on a table. You can put it on your leg. Obviously, I think the leg is the best. That's the way they had the previous version, which let me show you. Just for comparison's sake, this is the old version. So if you've seen this before, and I know that's like a giant orange ball, it looks kind of scary, but yeah, so you can see it like has a like a seat belt that was strapped to your leg, which in some ways is kind of cool. In other ways, it's kind of weird. But you can see like the difference on size in the two. Totally different. Like this is much smaller, more streamlined, not as tall. Yeah, I just like it better. I do believe the implements that come with the previous one will change out to the new one. The new one, they came with these balls and these. This previous one comes with, oh gosh, a whole bunch of stuff. All of these. So you've got a little foam roller. Oh yeah, that'll fit. So you've got a little foam roller, plastic balls, rubber balls, all these different ones. And I swapped this one out for the bigger yellow ball, and I'm betting you can use the orange one. This is really great for bigger areas like your forearm, maybe even your bicep. You can use it on your shins, all those kind of areas. Your thumb, I'll show you all that. And I was showing last night on how you can use this if you don't have a grip. So, well, if you can't grip something. And yeah, it is pretty cool. Sorry, I can't read the text from that far away. This setup is, yeah. Anyway, so it comes with a rubber band. Like, why does that matter? Well, say you don't have a grip, right? You can't grip things. You have osteoarthritis, you have rheumatoid arthritis, you have tendonitis, you have carpal tunnel, whatever. For whatever reason, if you can't grip things, this holds it in place. It's just kind of nice, right? And the keys are joining us. So, number one, the biggest reason this is useful for musicians, as you've probably heard me say before, is because this is all about massaging your own forearms. And if you've been following me for more than 5 seconds, you know how much I really believe in self-myofascial release, trigger point therapy, relaxing the overactive muscles, and our forearms, totally overactive. Think how much time we spend typing, how much time we spend playing, or however you play, right? We spend so much time. And if you've spent 5 minutes with me, you know why. And that's because the overactive muscles will inhibit other muscles that tend to be underactive. That causes muscle imbalances. And those muscle imbalances can lead to injuries. And those injuries can become chronic. You don't want that, right? So, shameless plug, if you bought my book, The Musician's Essential Exercises, I talk all about why we want that. And actually, a bunch of the studies and things, but I'm going to skip ahead so you can see. Originally, I just used lacrosse balls for this because I didn't have this, and I think this is much better. Then I mentioned the Arm Aid, so when I update the book, I'm going to be using the new version. And I think I also did foam rollers and all that other stuff. But let's get on to the meat of the subject. And if you have questions, shoot them at me. I will get them. Queen of muscle imbalances. Yes, ma'am, I totally understand that. So, without further ado, let's get on to it. So, if you have one of these, the easiest thing, it's pretty self-explanatory actually. What you're going to do is treat it like a foam roller, but for harder to reach areas. So you just stick your finger through here. Stick your arm through here. And you're going to roll back and forth. And notice I'm not gripping the thing, right? I'm just like holding it nice and easy. And oh, I found a spot. So if you're not sure where your trigger points would be, you've got this fleshy part of your arm right below your elbow. And then don't ask me to name all the muscles up here. Pronator teres is the only one I can remember at the moment. But these muscles here, your forearm muscles, as you know, these are your finger muscles. They turn into tendons down here. Those tendons can swell when the forearm muscles get overactive and tight. So if we keep these nice and loose and relaxed, the inflammation can come down, the swelling can come down, and we help avoid things like tendonitis and carpal tunnel. So if you are pressing in here, you're probably going to find something tender, right? But as you're noticing, this is why I like this thing, because you don't have to use both arms, right? You use one arm. No, it's not a scratching pose, buddy. All right, so you're going to bring your arm through here, roll back and forth, looking for those tender points you just found. It might feel like a knot, so if you've ever had a massage, you know that hurts so good feeling, that's what we're looking for. I found one right, right there. Totally. Okay, so let your arm rest. Let your hand just rest, right? So if you're on a 1 to 10 pain scale, you never want to be above a 7, okay? This is a, say a 4, maybe. Nah, it's going to be less than that because I can't, wait, there it is. Okay, found it. So I'm going to dig this ball right in the middle of that tender point, and I'm going to hold it until it goes down to about a 1 or a 2. Actually, I'm going to roll right there. Yeah, oh, that's nice. I feel that right in my middle fingers. Don't take anything from that because it's not true. Yeah, right in my middle fingers. And that's something called referred pain. So if you feel like you're pressing on something and you feel pain elsewhere, that's called referred pain. That's a good thing. It helps you know that you're pressing in the right spot. I don't know why. If anybody understands referred pain, please share. I think it's weird and kind of cool at the same time. But anyway, pardon me, it's going to let you know that you're in the right spot. You're actually on a trigger point. So you're going to press right there and hold. Feels nice, right? You can also do a little ART, and that is not technical, but if you've ever done a session with someone who does active release technique, it's kind of the same concept where you're pressing on a trigger point and you are flossing through that motion. So your forearms, the top of your forearms, they flex and they extend. We do not want to extend. That will make this tight. So once I find that muscle or find that trigger point, you're going to bring your fingers that way. Oh, it feels wonderful. I mean, it hurts, but it hurts so good, right? You're going to come that way. Oof. Yeah. And you just hang out here as long as you need to. You do not want to be overly aggressive with this, okay? So be gentle. Give yourself some love. This is self-care here. This is self-massage. And who doesn't love self-massage? Actually, I just realized that sounds really weird. So scratch, I said that. Okay, so you're going to bring that out, and we're going to get the underside of your forearms now. So for my violinists, violists, trombone players, right in here, this might hurt quite a few of you, maybe even on the other side as well. Don't be surprised if one side hurts worse than the other. That's not uncommon whatsoever. So as we're going along, please shoot me your questions, type them in the chat, and I will answer them at the end here, but I'm just going to go through. So you're going to roll back and forth, and really, I would love for you to roll back and forth. Roll the entire length of your arm first. So you never roll over a joint, and you never roll over a bone. So don't roll all the way across. So you're going to stop before you get to your elbow, okay? Yeah, right through there. So you're going to roll the whole length, and you're looking for tender areas. Those people that I just mentioned a second ago, your areas are going to be more like, well, here, okay? Right on the inside here. So you're going to look around for those tender spots. You don't have to keep your arm this way. You can also go that way so you can get those areas. Ooh, yeah, okay. So if you've got something, you'll feel it. You'll feel it right away, okay? So you're going to look in those areas, see if you find something, and if you do, obviously hold it. So to stretch this area, you're going to hold, and we're going to go the opposite way, right? Yeah, should feel nice. And again, you're going to hold till the pain goes down to a 1 or a 2 or 30 seconds or so, okay? Nice and easy. Nice. Okay, so that's forearms. And then obviously you want to get the other side as well. Now, besides forearms, there are a couple of other ways that you can use this. Upper leg, lower leg, upper arms. Did I say upper leg? I meant your upper arm and your lower leg. Biceps, triceps, and anterior, possibly peroneals and anterior tibialis, aka your shin. So how are we going to use this? Well, you're going to take this off, and actually this is something you can use for finger extensor exercises. And it's pretty, just as a side benefit. So this thing comes in and out, so you can adjust the size, you can adjust the width, no biggie, right? I'm going to adjust it out to 4 because my arms are jacked and swole, right? Right, okay. So I'm going to roll out my triceps first. If you know anything about trigger points, I actually have a really great app. It's from, well, I'll put it in the notes. But it's a trigger point app. It cost me $5. I use it constantly, and it'll tell you right where those points are going to be, so you don't have to fish around. But for triceps, for biceps, it's going to be right down here at the base of your the base of your bicep, and that referred pain will shoot all the way up here. Triceps going to be way down here. Oh yeah, right in there, and maybe back up in here a little bit as well. So to use it on your triceps, we'll do the triceps first. You can swap these out actually. So what I like about these other attachments, like this one, say you're a pretty, sounds funny, but assume you're a pretty inflamed person. If you've got some tighter muscles and you've got some pain, you might want to use these softer implements. Okay, so you can swap these out like this. That's going to feel a lot nicer, okay? So I'll show you how to swap those out in a second. So we're going to go, actually, my arms are not that big. I don't need this. We're going to go 3. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to, oh, that feels so wonderful, actually. You're going to roll all the way, the length of your, oh my, never mind, I found a spot. Okay, so you're going to roll the length of your tricep. And here's Levi again to give us some moral support. Hey, buddy. Okay, so right here, I've got a spot. You saw it. So it's right as you're getting to the base of your by your elbow, and this is why you actually put this thing back on, so it doesn't fall apart. Thanks y'all for joining me tonight. All right, so and this is Winston, and really, guys. It's just because I just got home. It's how this works, right? All right, so we're going to roll back and forth, just like this. Oh, that's right. Right in the middle of that trigger point, right there. I found a really nice little spot, and I'm just holding this. I'm not gripping it. And then I'm going to, whoo. So now it's flexed. When I do this, it stretches the muscle. So find the spot, work it through that range of motion. And actually, I'm hitting the bicep in that trigger point. Oh, at the same time. So I'm doing both. Make sure that you're not holding your breath. Hey, buddy. Make sure that you're not holding your breath, okay? You're not clenching up. You're not jumping your jaw. If anything hurts too much, you're not going to relax, okay? So if this is not more pain equals more gain. So just be gentle with yourself here, okay? Ooh, right there, right? And you can keep it here and obviously focus on your bicep as well, or you can flip it around. Same thing. I'll tell you what though, honestly, I like the other way because I feel like this gets into that bicep a little better. Yeah, right, oh, right there. Ooh, yeah, there we are. That's really nice. Perfect, okay. So we're just gonna hang out and hold this until things kind of calm down. Oh, I feel that all in my fingers. Whew. And you wanna do this before you play. Definitely after you play. And you're going to follow it up with some stretches, and I'll show you a few of these that you can do to follow up the areas that were tight. You can actually use it on your upper arm, but we're not going to get into that. The lower leg, why would you maybe use that? Well, for those of my people who, harp players, your shins are they definitely get a workout, right? With all the pedaling you do. I'm talking about classical harp. I'm classical harp, listen to me, concert harp. So, turn sideways so you can see. Adjust this a little bit. All right, so as you can see, we're going to do this muscle right here. So if you find bone here, right next to it is a little divot, but that's where your anterior tibialis is, and that's where we're going to find the trigger point. So you're going to take this off, move it to the wider. And if you saw the harp workout, you know what I did was I used my heel to do that. But if you happen to have this, this would be great to use here if you've had like a hard pedaling day. Oh, this muscle never gets any love, right? Think about it. When's the last time you ever massaged this muscle? It's also, I don't even know how to effectively stretch it. It's a really difficult muscle to kind of stretch, right? But if you've had a hard day, like some difficult rep to pedal and play, this is a twofer. So you can get these muscles and you get these muscles at the same time. So you're gonna find that spot right there. And to stretch it, you wouldn't necessarily do this at the same time, but the opposite motion of what you're doing is that way, right? So, and I would show you on the other leg, but it's broken, so sorry. You're right there, that goes right into my middle toes, okay? Yep, and then you stretch that way. So that's for my heart players. And then of course you get here. So that's basically it, hey bud, for how we're gonna use this implement. Then you would follow it up. Then you would follow it up with some stretches, okay? So depending on what's tight, depends on what you stretch. So say we found tightness, obviously we just did here, but say we found tightness in your biceps, triceps, forearms. Let's cover the forearms first. They're way easier to do. All right. Hello, Nada. So biceps. We're going to get the top of your forearm, your flexors and your extensors. I don't prefer to do these against a wall. I don't prefer to do these. You've seen people do these. I don't prefer that. You end up doing things with your fingers as well. And this, I think this is just, there's more support for you when you do them this way. So what you're going to do after you've rolled those trigger points out, you're going to put your hands flat, okay? You want your wrists directly underneath your shoulders and lock your elbows, okay? Maybe not lock, but you want them straight, okay? And don't try to force this. So the more you use this and then follow up with stretches, the more flexible, mobile you're going to be. But if you start here and you can't come all the way down, that's fine. Just relax. Go where you can. Then I want you to touch your fingertips together. Try to lift your knuckles off this. It shouldn't be possible. Now, if you lean forward, it's going to be possible. So don't cheat, right? Cheating is bad, okay? So you're going to try to lift those fingertips off. And what that does, that activates something called Sherrington's Law, which generally actually just states that two opposing muscle forces cannot contract at the same time. So if we are trying to pick up those fingertips and we're activating this, this has to shut off. Now we're going to go the opposite way, you get the same effect, okay? Fingers go nice and wide. You're going to point them back towards you. And again, if they don't go, that's all right. You don't have to force. Just hang out, be real easy, let gravity take control, okay? Go to where it's comfortable. And then you want your wrists, again, directly underneath your shoulders, not way out here and definitely not way back here. Directly underneath. And then I want you to try to pick your fingertips up off the table or the chair or whatever you're using, okay? Come out nice and easy. We'll do some wrist rolls this way. And the other way. All right, so say we found bicep. So we found some trigger points in the bicep and we just used the arm aid to release it. What you're gonna do, and I'll show you this too. You're gonna use right here. So you put your arm behind you with your palm facing down, and then you're gonna twist away, twist out into the room. Woo, that is tight, and boy, does it feel good. Look at that, nice. Woo, and just hold and relax. Hang out, okay. Tricep, there's not a fancy one, you already know this. You go overhead, right? Overhead and pull. Nothing fancy or exciting. So that, my friends, is really all I've got for today. So thank you for joining me on this quick little tutorial on how to use the arm aid for musicians to keep yourself strong and healthy and mobile and free and all those things. Next week, hopefully next week, arm aid will be joining me. And we'll have a little more time to promote it. This was kind of a trial run just to get that information out there because I've had some requests on how do you use this if you can't grip? How do you use it if you have X, Y, and Z? So I thought I would just do a quick one and show you if you've been thinking about getting it. If you have one, please leave a note in the comments about how much you like it and why you like it and how you use it. I know here in Nashville, I have several clients who are violists who love it. I have a a student who's a percussionist, absolutely loves her, used hers every day. One client could barely hold his arm. He was a bass player, and he could barely play for more than a few minutes. And after he did a whole regimen, and we worked together with strength training and everything, but he would use that constantly, and he got to where he could play again. So yeah, and next week I'm doing a series of, I'm continuing with the instrument-specific series, doing guitar on Tuesday and cello on Thursday. And Armaid has reached out to me. They've referred several guitarists to me because what they've told me is that when musicians are finding out about this, most of the musicians that are contacting them are string players, which I find interesting because I think a lot of woodwind players, I mean myself included, really enjoy this. But they're like, do you have anything specific for string players? Not particularly, to be honest. They're all kind of the same exercises. So no, not really, unfortunately. But what we're going to do is hopefully we're going to do this again with Armaid next week before the workout series that I'm doing. And if you haven't registered, you still have time. You just got to go. If you're on Instagram, go to the first link in my bio. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, you go to my website, musicstrong.com, click on services. You'll see the live online workouts right below there. Hop on there. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Then you can register and you can do the workout with me live. Ask for questions away, right? You guys have a wonderful day. And thank y'all for joining me.